All right, we're live, pal. It's
Yay!
2023.
Happy New Year! We are here. We are here with the Hidden Gems podcast, and this is the show that we do every week where we talk about hidden gems that are on your streaming services. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Ryan is here.
Hey, Rachel, it's great to be back with you once again. I missed you. I
Yeah,
know
it's
we
been a
were off.
while.
It's been 2 weeks, but I've missed you terribly. But I had a great Christmas. I had an even better New Year's, and I've been so excited to come back and do this with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been 3 weeks because we recorded at the beginning of the week
Oh
last
yeah,
time we did, and then we had 2 weeks, full weeks off, and then now it's Friday, so it's been too long, too
yeah,
long.
too long. But we're
I'm
back
glad to
now, and
hear.
that's what it's important.
I'm glad to hear that you had a good Christmas.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did too. From what I hear, the Hallmark slate actually turned out
Yeah.
pretty well this year.
It really did. I mean, they were leaps and bounds ahead of most of their competitors. So I give them a lot of credit. And they really did take some risks. They tried some new things this season, which was, as somebody was covering, it was a lot of fun. And we had such a great time. I'm so proud of our coverage that we had. We had some really fun guests. We had sponsorships the entire season, which was all from my own hustle and work, which I'm really proud of that. And it was just very successful in every way that you could imagine. It was a successful season for Hallmarkies podcast. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, grind don't stop.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I know. I still feel like I'm in recovery. I feel like I was going on adrenaline all the way until Christmas, and then it was just like crash.
Well, January is pretty much the dead season for movies
Yeah.
and stuff, so it's a brief respite.
Yeah. Yeah. But I did go and see, I haven't done my review yet, but I did go and see Megan this week, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm seeing that tomorrow night, and
Yeah.
I've heard surprisingly a lot of good things from people that
Yeah.
I did not expect to like.
I have to say, it's my first evil doll movie that I've ever seen.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes. So my opinion may not be of that much worth because I don't have anything to compare it to. But I thought it was fun. And the
But
marketing campaign has been absolutely brilliant. Have you seen these videos of the Megan
I
dolls like
have,
walking all
and
around New York? And
I have, and I was actually because I'm co-hosting now with Mike Thomas, the novice cinephile, over on his show, The Chatter After Daily, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And last night we were talking about Megan in the lead up in the campaign, and I said on that stream, whoever hired this marketing team deserved a raise because they more than earned their income this time around.
yeah, they really did. It was so funny and not annoying because sometimes those viral campaigns can get like over like too much.
Yeah,
And you can get sick of them. But at least for me, I've just been laughing my head off.
yeah. Like I said, whoever hired these people, they need to do every movie, like or at least every big movie.
Yes, I would definitely hire them. That's for sure. They have done a great job. Our friend Jeremiah is back. Trumpets blasting. Long live the Zemeckis Pinocchio. Hi,
Oh,
Rachel. Hi, Ryan. Good
oh,
to see you both.
Jeremiah. I, you are my friend, but is no.
We all have opinions. Some of them better than others. Just
Like I
kidding.
wasn't a humongous fan of the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio that came out late last year, but it
Hmm.
was doing laps around the Zemeckis one. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's all about execution, my friend. And the Zemeckis one did not have it, in my opinion, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Speaking of comments, we do have the chat room open, and you can send us a super chat if you feel so inclined. We would appreciate it. And why don't you tell everybody, Ryan, what we're doing for this episode?
So, so this is the streaming preview for January and February of 2023. And not gonna lie, this is a pretty quiet couple of months.
It really is.
I don't know if we've ever done a preview like this small before, if my memory serves me
No.
right, because there's usually well into the double digits. But this time around, it's like 12 things. I've got the list
Yep.
on my second screen here, and it's 12 things, and most of it is Netflix. So
Yeah, there
Netflix
wasn't a
is busy.
single Yeah, there wasn't a single thing on Disney Plus except for Bad Batch season 2, which I didn't watch. I watched 2 episodes of season 1 and I didn't like the girl. I thought she was really annoying. And so that's all I watched. So couldn't really preview that. And there was a couple National Geographic things, but nothing that really stood out. And so there was nothing on Disney Plus. There was nothing on Paramount Plus. As I tried to check all of them and see. They're really just not a whole lot coming out these next 2 months.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and considering the fact that in February, like in theaters, it's pretty busy, and then March is going to just be crammed. I mean, taking a look at March 2023, we're getting a John Wick movie, we're getting that 65 movie with Adam Driver. Like, it's just crammed. And then February also we're getting Ant-Man, so it's like theaters are going all gas, no brakes, and it's like streaming's just like,
Yeah.
I think we can relax.
But even in theaters, they were telling me that there's not a single mainstream family film coming out until April, which is crazy. Usually there's
What
like a Lego movie or something like that that's coming out in February. But there's only, more indies coming out.
help me out? What's coming in April?
That's the Super Mario movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but there's nothing else. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah, there is a little indie that you should look out for. I'm going to be writing my review this weekend. You should look out for if it comes near you, called Little Nicholas. That is so cute. It's this little animated film, the 2D sketchy kind of animation. I wouldn't be shocked if you were to see it be one of those like indies that sneaks in there for the Oscars. It's really cute. And it was very thoughtful as well, because there's this cartoon, Little Nicholas, in France, and the movie tells the story of Little Nicholas, but it also tells the story of the creator of Little Nicholas and his kind of uh, his legacy, I guess. So it sort of does both at the same time. So it's really cute.
Is this A24 or is this someone
No,
else?
it's just I don't know who's distributing. I don't think it's G Kids. But they sent me the screener. I have to post my review this weekend, so I think it's. Let me see. Looks like it's getting some festivals. January 5th, it comes, but it doesn't look
Oh,
like it's
yesterday.
G Kids. But anyway, if it happens to be playing by you, it looks like it's in New York right now. If you happen to see it, it's really cute.
Yeah, I'll
So
keep
that's a
an eye out
random.
for it, but it's looking doubtful because I mean, my local theater is we're getting that Shin Ultraman movie as a Fathom event,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like with a Fathom event, there's really no chance of an indie film sneaking in there. So
But with so little options, you never know.
it's a good point. Yeah.
Anyway, Jeremiah says, "Bah, good burn, Rachel. I'm with Ryan. I didn't love the Del Toro Pinocchio as much as everyone else, as you know." Fair enough. There's nothing in life like opinions. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very, very creative, and I thought it had something interesting to say about themes of parenting and life and death and what matters. And when he calls Pinocchio a burden, my heart died. It was so sad. So I thought it was really effective, but I can see how it wouldn't be for everyone. But yeah, we didn't get that many we don't have that many new releases coming to streaming. And I think that's partly like you were saying, with so much coming to theaters, that we're now past that phase where things were going to streaming first or both to streaming, and it's just going to be a little bit less, I think, than in the past 2 years.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's dive in, and then we have some questions. If you have Q&A, if you're listening, you have questions for us, please send them in. So we'll do these 12, and then we will we'll do some. I have some questions, some tag questions that will be fun. And if you have your own questions, like I said, you can use the super chat as well, which is really nice. But the first one that we're going to talk about is Netflix, and it's called The Pale Blue Eye. And this is out, or it's out today on the 6th with Christian Bale, and it's written and directed by Scott Cooper, who did Crazy Hearts and some other films. A world-weary detective is hired to investigate the murder of a West Point cadet. Stymied by the cadets' code of silence, he enlists one of their own to unravel the case, a young man the world would come to know as Edgar Allan Poe. So you saw the trailer. What'd you think?
I'm definitely going to go out of my way to see this. I think this trailer looks right up my alley. I mean, Christian Bale, I mean, come on, the dude is outstanding. Like last year, I'm pretty sure he had his chiropractor on speed dial because he carried not one but two movies to being somewhat decent, or somewhat decent in the case of Thor: Love and Thunder, and tolerable in spurts in the case of Amsterdam. So he's a miracle worker in that regard. But just looking at the movie, and just I'm a little worried that they're just going to shove Edgar Allan Poe just for the sake of, hey, here's this poet that everyone knows. But it could be interesting.
Yeah. It could get clunky if they like throw in a bunch of sort of Edgar Allan Poe-isms, like there's like a raven flying, above
There was one
the
in the
scene, or
trailer.
stuff like that could be kind of annoying.
Like, do you get it? Because he wrote The Raven.
Right.
Eh?
But yeah, this is interesting because every weekend I've been doing these smile worthy, frown worthy on Twitter, like what's playing at my local megaplex, and this movie was playing at my local megaplex. I don't know if it was the week of Christmas or last weekend. Anyway, and I was like, what is this? I had never even heard of it. I didn't even, I never. So that was the first time I heard of it. Is that it was playing, but I watched the trailer, and it looked interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because at my luxury theater about 20 minutes away, they sometimes get Netflix and Hulu movies. That's where I saw Glass Onion on Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving night with my dad. So it got a bit of a brief release there. But it was fun to go with him. The movie was just but
Yeah.
but it was strange that this one didn't get a theatrical release, because I would have liked to have seen it in the theater. But if I have to watch it on Netflix, then that's fine too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It did get, at least it was playing at my megaplex. But I had like they did no publicity at all. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
At all. So it was interesting. But yeah, it looks solid. It looks maybe a little boring. That's my watching the trailer. I'm like, oh, this could be a little bit of a snooze. But I like Christian Bale as well. So, and the director's done some good stuff. So
Yeah, I just it would be too on the nose if like someone was drinking wine and they're like, it's Amontillado, because Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Cask of Amontillado. Do you get it?
Right. Yeah. If there's those kinds of things, like the what's the one that he has with the clock? Tick tock, tick tock, tick.
That's The Raven, I believe.
Is it the Raven?
I know there's The Raven. There's also The Telltale Heart.
That's it. Telltale Heart. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Oh, so what will you give this 1 to 5? Is your excitement
I'm going to
level?
give this one a strong 4. I'm a big fan of this kind of period piece.
Yeah. Just because it just seems like they're burying it a little bit. That's the only thing. I'm going to give it a 3, but they bury a lot. So all right. Next we have also on Netflix. It's called Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street. And this is the documentary, The Rise and Fall of Financier Bernie Madoff, who orchestrated one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in the history of Wall Street. And I have to tell you, this trailer was absolutely riveting. I didn't know this was coming out, but I don't know. I am totally intrigued to if I can find the time to watch it. It sounded very interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. And when I saw this, I at first I was like, wait, didn't they make a Madoff movie already? And they did. It was called The Wizard of Lies, and it had Robert
Hmm.
De Niro as the title role and Michelle Pfeiffer as Mrs. Madoff. But
Yeah.
it's funny, this whole Bernie Madoff thing. This is like one of the first big news stories I remember seeing playing out as it happened. It was Casey Anthony because it was local to my area,
Oh, right.
and then it was Madoff, and I just remember seeing it all play out and thinking to myself, what is a Ponzi scheme? And funny enough, I learned what it was watching an episode of Two and a Half Men, of all things, in which the John Cryer character admits that he was running a Ponzi scheme out of his chiropractor office. And I looked it up and be like, oh, so that's what that is. It's weird, I know, but
Hmm.
that's
I find the whole Ponzi scheme like so fascinating because every single one of them they make a lot of money really fast and it always backfires on them, always. And so it's just amazing to me. I guess that temptation of quick easy money is so strong that it outweighs the the knowledge that it definitely won't last forever. It
yeah,
never does.
it's the ultimate like, what were you thinking kind of scheme.
Yeah, these smart people who have made smart business decisions for years and then all of a sudden just fall apart. And what was really fascinating to me about this trailer is they seem to imply that Bernie Madoff was somewhat of a fall guy. That
Yeah, that's what they were implying.
And I have never heard that before. I mean, I don't know very much, but I've never heard that there might be another side to the story. So that just fascinated me.
Yeah, I mean, with what we know about, the GameStop thing that happened in 2021 and early months there,
Mhm.
it's like Wall Street is a thing that fascinates me and confuses me all at the same time.
I know, I'm like terrified. I'm like the most low risk investor that you'll ever meet. When I was working with my with Wells Fargo, my advisor, I was just like, what's the lowest risk I can take? Go with that. I don't want
Like, here's
like
$2, don't lose it.
yeah. Um, since then I've upped it just slightly, but not much. I don't like just that speculation. It really scares me. I'm not a gambler at all.
Yeah, and it's strange because you can't tune into a sporting event nowadays without seeing ads for FanDuel or DraftKings
Yeah,
and stuff like that. I remember when sports betting was a super low, like down low thing. Now it's like
everywhere.
FanDuel and like they're sponsoring Pat McAfee's entire show now
It's
and
true.
DraftKings. And it's like it's weird
Hmm.
how it's now just out in the open.
Yeah, yeah. So I would give this a full 5. I'm really going to try to find the time to watch this. That I was very intrigued by the trailer.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5 as well. I really like this one. And one more note
Yeah.
before we move on. One of Robin Williams' last stand-up specials was called Weapons of Self-Destruction, and he has a little bit about Bernie Madoff, and he's like, we just had the Bernie Madoff thing, an embezzler named Madoff. It's
That's
like
true.
being represented by the law firm of Dewey, F.U. and Howe.
That makes me think of the Car Talk guys I'm a huge fan of their show, and at the end of their show they would always have these funny fake names like we're produced or the our legal department by Dewey Cheatham and Howe. That's what they would say,
That's a
Dewey
good one.
Cheatham
That's a
and Howe.
good one.
Yeah, they would have a bunch of those. Um, Anyway, so let's move on. So they also have on the first on Netflix, they have a show called Kaleidoscope. And this stars Giancarlo Esposito, Rufus Sewell, Jai Courtney, centered around the largest heist ever attempted, the vengeance and betrayals that surround it. And you can watch it in any order. That's sort of the novelty of it, that you can watch episode 2, episode 4, episode, because I think if I'm not mistaken, each episode is about a different member of the heist, and then it all kind of comes together at the end. I don't know what you think.
Just from this trailer, it looked really interesting. It has a lot of actors I really like. In Giancarlo Esposito, I mean, he's Gus from Breaking Bad. He was the Inquisitor in The Mandalorian for the first two seasons. I mean, the dude's going through, he was Boogie, and I believe he was Boogie. If no, he wasn't Boogie, but he was in Do the Right Thing. That I do know. He was
Mm.
in there. So I'm a big fan of his work. Rufus Sewell is definitely the villain because I believe it's a cosmic law that Rufus Sewell needs to be the villain in everything that he is in. And then, uh, like I said, I love heist movies, or not heist movies, but heist shows like this. And it's interesting they're going with the whole watch in any order, and it'll eventually come together. I think I might, if I do watch it, I might have some fun with that. Maybe do like a random number generator. Just be like, or you start with 10 or start with 2 and then jump back and forth.
Yeah, I think it could be fun. I know my friend Kristen Maldonado wasn't a big fan of the show, so that makes me a little nervous. But I like heists in general. I think they're fun. And I agree, the cast I really enjoy. I did like Rufus Sewell. I think the only positive role he's ever in was when he played he was in the show Victoria that I really liked, about Queen Victoria, young Queen Victoria, and he played kind of her mentor. And he was
Oh,
pretty
interesting.
hunky. What's that?
I was saying interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a good show, and so yeah, it might be worth a shot. Like I said, I like heist kind of stories are fun usually.
Yeah, I'm going
So
4 on this one.
yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3, but it has potential. Definitely, it's fun. They're at least trying something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then on the 10th on Netflix, we have a documentary called The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker. And this is the shocking documentary chronicles a happy go lucky nomad's ascent to viral stardom and the steep downward spiral that resulted in his imprisonment. What do you think?
This trailer was wild. I was
Hmm.
not expecting because you read something like the hatchet wielding hitchhiker, you think, oh, it's a horror movie, like
Yeah, I thought it
something.
was like true crime.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's like this homeless guy who is strangely positive about things. Like he saves a guy, and then they're like, oh, he's so awesome, he's so cool. But then it's like, oh, maybe he's not who he thought he was. It's kind of a weird example, but I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy named Plasma Master Don. Is this older gentleman named Don Edward Owens Jr. He did these like weird covers of songs, but he was initially seen as pretty wholesome, but it was revealed that he was actually on a list, like a predator list. So
Uh
it
huh.
was
Ooh.
so it was eerily watching this trailer was very eerily similar to that.
Yeah, I love documentaries like this, and I admit that they're usually super manipulative, but they usually work for me. Like there was a movie that was it's on Netflix that was I saw at Sundance called Misha and the Wolves. It shocked me so much. My mouth was agape. I couldn't believe it. I won't tell you really anything about it because I don't want you to be spoiled. But it was very effective in that regard. I thought of Three Identical Strangers. Did you
Oh
ever see
yeah.
that?
No, I didn't.
It's really good. I again, my mouth was agape. I was just uh, about these three identical strangers that were separated at birth and what you find out. I mean, even that alone is like fascinating, right? But where
Yeah.
it goes was shocking. So I won't tell you anymore. You have to watch it. But it's really good. Good movie. Good documentary. So I feel like this has that potential to be that kind of like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 4 on this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right. So next we have on the 12th on HBO Max, we have the show Velma. And this stars Mindy Kaling, Constant Wu, and Ming Na Wen. And it's created by Charlie Granty and Mindy Kaling. It's the origin of the sleuth and member of the Mystery Incorporated gang, Velma. Now, if you've been following this channel slash my site, you know that one of my big animation blind spots is I have never seen any Scooby Doo. I've seen except for the Scoob movie. That is the only. um, so I don't really have a whole lot to add to about this movie. I mean, I like Mindy Kaling a lot, so just even hearing her voice, I was like, "Ooh, that sounds fun." What about you?
Yeah, didn't care for this trailer all that much, and I grew up watching the old Scooby Doo, like Scooby Doo, Where Are You on Boomerang all the time. It was on
Mm-hmm.
there all the time, and I remember all those episodes, and so I just loved that show growing up. And I don't know what it is up with Warner Brothers of just trying to do, excuse me, these different takes on Scooby Doo when we haven't even gotten an initial like they're solving mysteries like show since the 60s. Like, can't we get one of those first before we dive into the side characters? I
It
don't
does
know.
feel a little bit salty that they didn't allow the Scoob sequel, the Christmas movie, to be released when it was
Yeah.
finished. And they're allowing this adult show to come out. Just it does feel a little weird.
Yeah, and I like Mindy Kaling. She's done several very funny episodes of The Office, so I am a fan. But I don't know. This one it just wasn't for me. It was going
Mhm.
meta, and I've just grown sick and tired of the whole commentary of just like just pointing out these things that like how old timey the show was and its attitudes, and I was just like haven't we done this before? Like, what year are we living in right now?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably give it a 2, but I don't even feel qualified to really give it a number on this one.
Uh, 1.5 just for the animation. It actually looks pretty good.
Mm. And I do like the voice cast.
Yeah, like I
That's
said,
good.
fan of Mindy Kaling, so not trying to dump on her, but just like we haven't
Yeah.
even gotten a proper Scooby Doo anything like in years. I mean, the closest we ever got were those two live action Scooby Doo ones with Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Matthew Lillard for
Yeah,
both
and
of
Scoob,
those.
which was a superhero movie, it was so weird.
And trying to do the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe, which I've been patiently waiting for, but just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. So Jeremiah says, I've seen 2 episodes of some Scooby show or other, and I couldn't summarize them to save my life. I could have to watch every Barbie movie or remember, and I still couldn't remember. So you're gonna have to watch some of those Barbie movies coming up, Jeremiah.
They will be important come July.
Am planning on doing I'm trying gonna my goal is to try to finish all the Barbie movies for family movie night before the new movie. So we'll see. It could be a good stretch there
Yeah.
of them, but because I do enjoy them. All right. So then we have The Last of Us, this on HBO Max on the 12th. And the stars Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabriel Luna, creators Nick Druckmann and Craig Mazin. Joel and Ellie, a pair connected through the harshness of the world they live in, are forced to endure brutal circumstances and ruthless killers on a trek across post pandemic America. What do you think? Do you know The Last of Us game?
I've played some of it. I still own it, but I haven't beaten the game. But I know of the story and I know of the general nature of it. And this trailer looks really solid. I've actually am going to try and watch it as it premieres, which I don't normally do with TV because I feel like this could be something that if it hits, it's going to hit like really hard.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I don't know this game. I don't do games at all. So I can't comment on that. But it looks from what I can see, it looks really close to the images I've seen of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pedro Pascal, I mean, that dude is just all over the place with Mandalorian and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and now
Hmm.
this. Like,
Yeah,
he's a good actor,
he
so
is a
I'm
good
happy for
actor.
the guy.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of dystopians, so I probably won't watch this, but it did look well made. So, I'd probably give it a 3. What would you give it?
I'm going 4 on this one. This looks really good.
Mhm. Okay, then on Netflix, we have a show called Dog or a movie called Dog Gone. So on the 13th, based on the true story of a father and son who repair their fractured relationship during a forced hike of the Appalachian Trail to find their beloved lost dog. So I know you're not the biggest dog person, but what'd you think of this trailer?
I'm not the biggest dog person, but I love dog movies like Marley and
Hmm.
Me and Old Yeller, which is a tough sit, but it's
Yeah,
still
so
good.
good.
But yeah, this trailer was speaking my language. I mean, I'm a big fan of Greg Kinnear, so I was happy to see him involved in this. And I love the fact that this is based on a true story. And there's just something about true stories that just hit
Yeah,
me.
and Rob Lowe. And yeah, I thought it looked really good. There was definitely you have the tissues out, I think, for this. It'll be good. I mean, dog movies, they always make you cry.
That's true.
So I'm gonna give this a like 4, I guess. It
Yeah,
looks
I'll
good.
meet you there and say 4.
Yeah. All right. Then on the 13th, we have a uh, something called The Drop. And this stars Utkarsh Abu Dakar, who you would know this person if you saw him. He's been in a ton of stuff. And Jillian Bell and Anna Conkle, director Sarah Idina Smith. And this is literally this is the summary on IMDb. It's just such a weird summary. It says in this cringe comedy, a married couple face a marriage test when one of them drops a baby during a tropical island wedding. What did you think of this trailer?
Did not care for this. This is the kind of movie with the dark humor that I just don't appreciate. It's like the chop him in the throat and let's see what happens kind of humor. It's not funny. It's just uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable watching this because I don't have kids, but I know dropping a baby is like dangerous because
Mhm.
for a lot of reasons. And they're just playing it off as like a, oh, well, it's like, so I don't know. I just did not care for this.
It is dangerous, but I also feel like most parents are, like, pretty thick-skinned about stuff, like, as long as the baby's fine, like and it seemed like the baby's fine. So, like, for instance, one time, I was at my sister's sister-in-law's house, and I was playing with her daughter, and we were kind of playing around, and the little girl ended up dislocating her, like, elbow or whatever, and I felt
Ooh,
mortified. I was so embarrassed,
wow.
and the mom couldn't have been nicer, but I felt so bad. But I feel like that's usually the case that like parents are just kind of like I don't know that you just get pretty thick skin after a while.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be funny to some, and I don't mind dark humor if it's done like in a right way, but this just I don't know. I didn't care for it, like I said.
Yeah. It I mean, I'm not a big Jillian Bell fan. I was one of the people who didn't like Brittany Runs a Marathon, who actually Utkarsh, I'm a doctor, is also in that. But yeah, it didn't look great. It looked kind of cringe to me, but they say it in the summary, cringe comedy. I'm like, what?
I
Isn't
mean,
that weird that they said that in the summary?
I appreciate their honesty, but I kind of hate them for it. In the words of Roger Ebert, I admire what they did, and I hate it.
Yeah. So Jeremiah says, I am currently watching Barbie the Island Princess. I'm not impressed so far. It's not awful, but not pleased. I have a review for that on the channel, so you should watch it, Jeremiah. Let me find the link. Here, I'll put it in the chat room. I reviewed it.
Do
I
you think the Barbie movie will be helped or hindered as it is described as a Truman Show-esque movie?
I think helped. I think I think that having it be kind of, I feel like that's the only way to do it. You have to kind of think outside the box. If it was just like a traditional Barbie movie, I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be some kind of spin on it. Don't you think?
Yeah, it just is. It's a weird trailer. The 2001 homage,
Yeah,
seeing Ryan Gosling in those clothes. It just
I'm
like
really very intrigued though. Very intrigued.
I am going to see it though. I will be seeing Oppenheimer first, but maybe I'll make a double feature out of it. I don't know.
Yeah. So I've reviewed, I think, 31 Barbie movies on my channel. So, all right. Let's keep going. Oh, all right. What would you do? You gave it a 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The next we have Poker Face. This is on Peacock. It's a series. It's on the 26th. Stars Natasha Lyonne. This is directed and written by Ryan Johnson, and it's Poker Face is a 10-episode Mystery of the Week series following Natasha Lyonne's Charlie, who has an extraordinary ability to know when someone is lying. She hits the road with her Plymouth Barracuda, and with every stop encounters a new cast of characters and strange crimes she can't help but solve. I have to say, I'm kind of not on the Ryan Johnson hype train. I didn't
Yeah.
like Glass Onion. I didn't like Last Jedi. I did like Knives Out, but for the most part, I haven't really enjoyed his take on a lot of stories. So
My
just on that kind of doesn't make me excited. I don't think he's the greatest writer. But I do like Natasha Lyonne. I think she's a good actress, so that's kind of intriguing, but I don't know. I would say on this one for me.
Yeah, I think really like the thing of his that I like the most is this movie called Looper. It starred Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. It's a time travel movie and it's actually quite good.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. But I don't know. I'm just burnout on just so disappointed. I was so disappointed with Glass Onion that I can't get my excitement up for this Poker Face. But what did you think of the trailer?
It looks decent, but like I said, the Ryan Johnson thing, I just don't understand. I think he's slowly kind of turning into Vegemite. People either love him or hate him,
Yeah.
and there's no in between.
He's like a kind of a Stephen Moffat-y, the guy that's all about the gimmicks and not about the good writing.
Oh yeah,
So,
facts.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I'd give it like a 2 just for Natasha Lyonne. She's a good actress. But
I'll go too as well.
all right. Then we have Breakpoint. This is on Netflix. This is on the 1st of February. And it follows men's and women's pro tennis players throughout 4 Grand Slam tournaments. What'd you think?
I liked this.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of sports documentaries, and so I have not seen Formula One Drive to Survive. As a big auto racing fan, I should get on top of that because I've heard good things. But this trailer alone, I've I've never really played tennis all that much, but it seems like the kind of show that I would just really like.
Yeah. I'm like the world's worst tennis player because I don't have any hand-eye coordination because I'm a little bit dyslexic. So I'm fascinated by people who actually can do it and do it well. But
Like,
it looked good. I like a sports documentary like you. I like that much better than I'd way rather watch a sports documentary / sports movie than watch sports. So yeah, this looked fun. I would give it like a 3.5, I think.
yeah, I'll agree with you on that. 3.5.
Okay, last one. We didn't really have a trailer. We had like an introduction. It was weird. It's called Your Place or Mine. This is on Netflix. The 10th of February, right time for Valentine's Day. Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher, 2 long distance best friends, change each other's lives when she decides to pursue a lifelong dream and he volunteers to keep an eye on her teenage son. What do you think?
Um, Not sure. Like I
Yeah,
said, whatever that trailer was supposed to be, I just didn't know what to make of.
it was weird. It wasn't really a trailer. Yeah, it was like an introduction and just like, hey, we're friends. I was gonna make a movie, so I decided to call Ashton, my buddy, and but they didn't actually have a trailer. Which, when you think about the quality of some of the Netflix rom coms that we've gotten trailers for, the fact they don't even have a trailer for this makes me a little worried.
It's nice to see Ashton Kutcher back in something. He kind of disappeared for a while.
Yeah, he had a kind of extended cameo in BJ Novak's movie Vengeance. That was last year. That was actually a pretty good movie, and a pretty good part for him. But aside from that, I can't think of really anything else that he's done for a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm. And I feel like him and Reese could have good chemistry. I really like Ashton Kutcher and oh shoot, now I've it's lost the one with Natalie Portman.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh
no strings attached.
Yes, yes, yes. And of course, Reese has been in tons of really great romantic comedies. So there's reason to be optimistic. But yeah, I would give this 2. But I'm always hopeful for a good rom com. You know me. So hope it'll be a surprise. What'd you give it?
I'll go 2.5.
Yeah. All right, so we're done the preview. That's all we have. But we have Q&A and we have a special request for you.
Okay.
For the Q&A, could Ryan please say The Godfather's overrated, I hate wrestling, The Strawberry Shortcake Show is better than Citizen Kane, and long live the Zemeckis Pinocchio?
Uh,
He says, I will super chat $5, but no pressure, I understand.
Rachel, how bad do you need this $5?
It's fine. Jeremiah, can I say it? Or does it have to be Ryan?
I think you would agree with more of this sentence than I would.
Oh yeah, I hate wrestling, and that's not gonna. He doesn't want to have that. That's all right. It was a fun creative request. If you have something you want me to say, then let me know. All right. Well, we have uh some fun tag questions that we're gonna do. So I found one that is that's Disney related.
I'm sorry, what
So
was it again?
I found one that's Disney related questions.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. First question. Which Disney character is your favorite?
Oh, Disney character. Oh. Hmm. Because Disney's so expansive. Like, are we talking about just like 2D, 3D?
I would say out of the Disney canon. So out of the official like Disney animated films.
Okay, that
Let's do that.
okay, that makes it easy. Let's see. Hmm. Let's go with, man, this is harder than I thought. Uh
It is hard.
a couple of my favorites are Flynn Rider from Tangled. That's one of them. I like his arc from beginning to end. I like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. I like what they did with him. That's at
I
least
mean, I think I'd have to say my favorite is still probably Ariel. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I do like her, and I just connected with her as a little girl, so she'll always be special. But others that I love, uh, I Flynn Rider. I love Rapunzel. I love Elsa. I love Moana.
I like Maui.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeremiah has a question. He says, what are Ryan's top 10 Disney films? That's a tough one. How about you do 5? 10's a
Oh,
lot.
let's see what we got. I know this is not an exact order, but Treasure Planet is up there. Treasure Planet is definitely an upper echelon. I love the original Fantasia.
Mm.
And again, this is in no exclusive order, so Treasure Planet, Fantasia, Tangled,
Aladdin.
Lion King, that's 4.
Mm.
And yeah, Aladdin's awesome.
Yeah, those are good ones. So I would say of my favorite, yeah, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, um, Tangled, Cinderella, and probably Fantasia. Probably my 5 favorites.
Low-key kind of wish we would get a Fantasia movie every now and again.
I
That
know.
movie
It
was
would be
way ahead of
fun.
its time.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be fun. Even just to get to the shorts, we don't need the interstitials combining them, but it would just be fun to get like every so often get a Fantasia short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which Disney princess is your absolute favorite?
Ooh.
I think Mulan is probably my favorite if she counts.
I mean, I'd say she counts.
Yeah. But then also I really like Moana and Rapunzel and Elsa,
I love Rapunzel
Ariel.
from Tangled. She would have to be in the upper echelon for me.
Yeah, so good. All right. Um what is one Disney villain that you find pretty adorable? That's an interesting word for a villain.
Villain I find adorable, huh?
Well, I mean, it's actually not that hard now because they haven't had a real scary villain in so long.
Yeah, the scariest animated villain we got recently was Death in Puss in Boots and the Last Wish.
Yeah, probably the most adorable Disney villain is recent is probably Mayor Bellwether from Zootopia.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which Disney prince would you like to meet in real life?
Oh. They're all kind of fairly one note, so it's a bit hard.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say Prince Eric because he's so friendly. I mean, he welcomes the stranger into his house,
Yeah,
takes care of her.
that's a good point.
Yeah, he'd be nice.
Yeah, forget it. That's my choice too.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. Uh, during your childhood, which Disney movie did you watch for the first time?
Oh, the very first one was Monsters Inc. My
Mm,
dad took me to see that, and it's low key one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's in my heart. The last 15 minutes of that, where the door gets shredded and the factory gets turned from screams into laughter, and then it's revealed that Mike has been rebuilding the door this whole time, and you hear that last kitty. Oh, that melts my heart every time.
yeah, that's cute. That's very cute. Do you have a favorite Disney World ride?
Yeah. Well, it's technically not a ride, but a must go to would be the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular and the Lights
Oh,
Motors Action, which sadly is no longer around. But
at
in terms
Hollywood
of
Studios.
ride, I strangely I like the Peter Pan one.
No, it's very popular. You can almost never find it for under 45 minutes. Almost never.
Yeah,
In Disneyland, at least.
it's
Uh,
rare.
yeah, very rare. My favorite is the Haunted Mansion. Is my favorite.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's really fun. And I don't think in Disney World they do the holiday overlay for the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare Before Christmas holiday. I think that's just at Disneyland. It is pretty fun, the holiday overlay. Uh, but yeah, whether it's the holiday overlay or the regular, I just really like the Haunted Mansion. I think it's very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Some of these questions are a little too creative almost. Uh, let's see. So this is an interesting question. It says, if you were left alone in Disneyland, how would you like to spend the whole day? Like 99% of the time, I am alone at Disneyland. And one of the things that I like to do is that while I'm waiting in line and other things, I listen to audiobooks of about Walt or about the animators. And so that is really fun and kind of keeps you in the spirit of things. And so, like this last time, I listened to a book about Ward Kimball, who was a famous one of the 9 Old Men. That was really interesting. And I listened to a book about some of the early women of Walt Disney Animation Studios. That was really fun. Mary Blair and other people like that. And so that's one of the strategies I have for being at Disneyland alone is I listen to audiobooks.
I would just enjoy walking around,
Yeah.
get some Dole Whip, just take in the scenery
Yeah. Is
because
that your favorite Disney snack? Dole Whip?
it's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. Do you like the turkey legs?
I haven't had one in a while, so I can't really say.
They're too salty for me. I can't.
Yeah, but in like early days of the pandemic when everything was locked down, I found this channel called 4K WDW, and this guy just went and he's back doing it now, but he would go to all the various Florida Disney theme parks like Magic Kingdom and Epcot and all that,
Yeah.
and he would just do like walking tours with like no commentary or anything, but it
Oh,
was like
interesting.
you were really there, and it was cool.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that guy, but there is one guy that combines old imagery. I don't know how he does it exactly, but you can go on like a walking tour as if you were in like the opening day or, in the past Disneyland at Disney World. It's kind of fun. I'll have to
Yeah,
remember who that
there's a
is.
channel that brings back like old 1950s footage of like you're in
Yeah.
1950s LA, and I've seen it like how is this even possible?
It's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah, I think I mean, at Disneyland, they have this thing called churro toffee, which is to die for. It is so good. It was just like normal toffee, but it's dipped in white chocolate and then rolled in cinnamon sugar, and it is so good.
Sounds good.
Yes. It's really good. And of course I love me a Dole Whip. There's nothing quite as refreshing. And it's really fun in Disneyland because you can take your Dole Whip into the tiki room.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And yeah, they also have at Disneyland, they have chocolate dipped pineapple spears. Those are so good.
Have not had those. I didn't
Yeah.
even know those were a thing.
Yeah, it's really good. You should try it. Also, if you want the best deal at Disneyland, the chimichangas are an incredible deal. Under $7, you can get like a big chimichanga with like meat and everything. I mean, for Disneyland, that is an incredible bargain.
Yeah.
So look for the chimichangas. They are a great, great deal.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't even believe it. I mean, I paid $10 for this tiny little bowl of chili last time I was there. I mean, it was like maybe this big, not even this big. It was so small, and
Wow.
$10. So
I
the
mean,
fact
it's
that I got a
chilly.
whole chimichanga for under 7 was unbelievable.
I mean, it's chilly. It's not like you're eating at like Cinderella's castle or
I know.
anything.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, okay, let's do a couple more here. Let's see here. Some of these aren't very good. There's a lot. Who is your favorite Disney singer? So I guess
Ooh.
of the who do you think has one of the prettiest songs? Let's put it that way.
Does Phil Collins count?
Sure.
Then Phil Collins.
Okay.
His Tarzan soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean the Brother Bear soundtrack makes me sad inside, but I do like the Tarzan one. I think I gotta go with Idina Menzel. I just absolutely love her
That's a
voice.
good choice too.
She's unbelievable. We have my review for Frozen 2 coming up on Monday. I just rewatched it yesterday and it's so good.
I
Very under
remember in I remember in middle school choir we actually did the trash in the camp number
Oh,
for
really?
like our spring or our like fall formal, not our
Uh-huh.
formal but our performance. It was so much fun to do
Yeah.
because it's
Cool.
all this da 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 da. It's all gibberish, but when it comes together, it's great.
So we're gonna switch gears real quick, and I have some movie trivia questions.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you. Are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane and Citizen Kane?
Rosebud.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate?
Oh shoot. I've only saw that movie once and I didn't like it.
That's a
Probably gonna be
help.
probably gonna be someone obvious, but I don't know.
Anne Bancroft is
Oh,
The Graduate.
like I said, I blocked most of that movie out of my mind.
In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
Oh, the red.
Yes. For what movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination? From the 80s.
His first nomination.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's a family film.
I don't know why Turner and Hooch is coming to my mind. It's not that. Uh,
It's big.
oh
It's
crap!
big, yeah.
I've never seen that, so that's why.
Oh, okay. What 1927 musical was the first talkie?
The Jazz Singer.
Very good. Very good. What's the
Crucial plot
name?
point of Babylon.
Yeah. What's the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, very good. What flavor of Pop Tarts does Buddy the Elf use in his spaghetti? In Elf.
Oh, that's deep.
That's a deep cut.
Strawberry.
Chocolate.
Oh, dang. I think it's either strawberry or cinnamon brown sugar.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. What pop vocal group performs at the wedding in Bridesmaids?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's Wilson Phillips.
Oh, shoot. I would have been way off. I was going to say In Sync.
Let's see. What real life on again, off again Hollywood power couple starred in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
That movie is wild.
It is wild. And I reviewed it for AFI Passions. If you are a patron of the podcast of what I do, you get to read every Sunday. I do an exclusive to patrons review from the AFI Passions list. And Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf was on there. So I watched that for the first time. And so it's pretty nice.
Considering the subject material of that movie, why is it on a passions list? I don't
I mean,
know.
it is passionate, but it's just negative passion, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's a pretty nice perk, I think, of being a Patreon member, and it really helps a lot. And every Sunday you get those exclusive reviews. So check it out. Cheap plug there.
I thought you know.
American writer-director starred in several iconic European-produced spaghetti westerns?
Clint Eastwood.
Yep, very good.
Oh, I trusted my gut on that one.
Who played juror number 8 in 12 Angry Men?
Henry Fonda.
Yes, very good. What's the head of what kind of animal is front and center in an infamous scene from The Godfather?
A horse.
Yeah.
Cartoon. Rest in peace.
What TV show was Jack Nicholson referencing when he ad-libbed "Here's Johnny" in The Shining?
The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah. What critically panned 1984 country musical comedy starring Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone eventually became a cult classic?
Oh. Rhinestone Cowboy?
Yeah, it's just Rhinestone. You got it.
Oh, shoot.
You got it. Who played park owner John Hammond in Jurassic Park?
Richard Attenborough.
Very good. In what 1976 thriller does Robert De Niro famously say, "You talking to me?"
Taxi Driver.
Yeah. What is the name of the anathemic dance number near the beginning of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
The Time Warp.
Yeah, very good. One last one. For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director?
Saving Private Ryan.
No, he actually lost that one. It's Schindler's List.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
It was the other movie he directed.
Yeah. All right, one more. In what 1950 drama does Betty Davis say, "Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a bumpy ride"?
I don't know.
It's All About Eve.
Oh, geez. And I've even reviewed that one, too.
It's one of my favorites. Very good. You passed. You passed the test. Well, there we go. We did it. Let us know what you think of the 12 things that we previewed. If you're excited, or if you're excited for something else that we missed, let us know. And if you have any answers to the Disney questions, let us know too. And so, Ryan, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at RyanCam20. There's, of course, my YouTube channel, which is just called Ryan Cam. Like I said, I am a co-host on the Chatter After Daily, talking movie news of the day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So look up the Chatter After YouTube channel and give Mike a subscribe. And also, I'm also a co-host of League of Cinephiles and Movie Trivia. Schedule's a bit more fluid of when I'm on there, but I will be sure to let you all know if I am hosting on there, to come and say hey and give them a subscribe. As far as my personal content goes, I'm in the middle of the Shyamalan project. On Monday, be dropping my first reaction to Lady in the Water, which was a very weird movie, which I just did not understand. Why did Shyamalan need to be that petty? I don't know, but there we go. I watched The Happening yesterday for the first time, and it was awful. It was like literally everything that was built up, but except worse.
Yeah, it's rough. Oof. Lady in the Water. Ooh.
I do plan on seeing Megan tomorrow night, and I will have a review up for that. And I'm starting up my Rocky series to review all the Rocky movies in honor of Creed 3. So a lot of content coming. If you haven't checked me out, please do.
Yeah, definitely. You can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check all that out. I'm going to be doing a bunch of reviews this weekend. I'm catching up. So you want to check over my site, rachelsreviews.net. And also we have this month, I'm catching up on my Disney Canon project because I have 4 movies that I haven't never reviewed on there. So that'll be my family movie night this month, is reviewing the Frozen 2, Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto, and Strange World for family movie night. So that will be really fun. And also you check out Hallmarkies podcast. We're having a lot of fun over there. And so thanks so much, everybody. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.